What's going on, everybody? It's Monday, January 29th, 2024. My name is DP, or that's what I go by anyway. And this is the Bet on Me podcast, as you can tell. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right the fuck into this because yesterday was awesome. uh, Patrick Mahomes, uh, Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. I'm still not a fan of Brock. Something just bothers me about that guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just that he plays for San Francisco and I'm not much of a fan. I don't know. I mean, I can respect everyone else on the team. Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, who went over his yards that we had yesterday, 86 and a half yards on the ground rushing. He went for 90. Figured he would. He went for two touchdowns as well. Uh, Still, either way, we're going to get into all that. The game was awesome. The first game was awesome. I know a lot of people probably wanted more points, but I was super excited with the way the game turned out. I thought the Chiefs would win, but I was very very happy to see that it didn't. It wasn't a blowout. That it was a close game. The Ravens didn't look bad. The Ravens definitely look like they need a few more weapons from Lamar out there. But we'll just go ahead and get into it because all the money was on the Ravens. All the money, the public was riding with the Ravens. And I even saw someone tweet or exit out or whatever you call it now, said that the Lions was a public bet as well, which I really wanted to see the line. That's why I didn't take anybody in the lines. I just took the prop bet, Christian McCaffrey over his yards, because I wanted to see the Lions go, but I kind of thought that in the end, they would, even the whole first half, I was just like, it's too early. I mean, they've got, they still haven't even really. They're just figuring it out. They got the coaching and not saying that Detroit wasn't, up to the task, and it's it's sad. It's sad. It's to me, Detroit went so far, but you know, uh, anyway, we'll get into all that here in just a second. We're going to talk about this first game with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson making proclamations on draft night that they get a Super Bowl out of him. Well, it's not going to be this year, and I remember that because I remember watching the draft when he got drafted, and I remember him saying that. It's just something that stuck out. I remember watching the kid play at Louisville, which is funny because I grew up watching just about everybody that's in the league now playing college and still playing in college and whatnot. But still, it's just crazy that you know I'm not like a kid or a teenager anymore, so I actually can pay attention to it and I know what's going on. And it's just wild to see these guys play at that level, and then move up and play at this level. And it's like, yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson, going to the championship game. I mean, what, you know, even if it is just a divisional title, it doesn't matter. That's still, I think that's pretty cool when you watch where they came from and where they are now. And even, Mahomes from Texas Tech, uh, he used to kill it down there, score a bunch of points. But anyway, Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, Tay Tay, they did what they had to do and they had to show everybody that experience, gets the job done. And Lamar did what he could with 8 carries for 54 yards. He threw for 272 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and he even caught a batted ball himself. Yeah, that's right. Lamar, like a ball was thrown from Lamar. It was batted into the air by a defender, a lineman actually. I can't remember who. He caught the ball and actually ran it. So he's actually on the sheet with one catch for 13 yards. It's it's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, Flowers is the only other notable Raven that contributed in a big way with one touchdown, 5 catches for 111 yards. Odell was out there running around. He had a couple catches, but unfortunately, that was the only TD that the Ravens could get across the goal line. They had another one Flowers was trying to get in, and it got knocked out of his hand right at the guy. The game was insane. defensively, it was great, and I like defensive games. So um, it was held to the under, the total. Pat and the guys were able to find the end zone, a couple times. I'm sorry, Patrick, Patrick Mahomes. He threw for 241 yards, one touchdown. Pachero had 24 carries for 68 yards and one of those TDs. And Kelsey did his thing with 11 receptions for 116 yards. And I believe that was the only touchdown pass that Patrick threw was to him. So putting them ahead 17-10 in the AFC Championship game and putting them in the Super Bowl. And I believe that was the final score was 17-10. And Mahomes has just been there, what, 4 times in 5 years now? Uh, Something Tom Brady's done. I know, Mahomes is his career is starting to look a lot like that. Andy Reid, they're talking about like that was his 25th playoff win. And, Bill Belichick's got like 31 creeping up on him. I'm pretty sure that was the first time that Mahomes was a road dog, though, in general, as a visitor in the playoffs. But he came out on top. He did what he should have done in that situation. Which if you're going to talk about him like he's a goat, then you're definitely going to have to, you're definitely going to have to win like that in situations. The second game was tell two halves. Detroit Lions came out on fire, but just like the AFC title game, the NFC was won by those with the most experience. I think both teams were equally matched, but I think the coaching on one side was just a little bit better. And experience is exactly what I was riding in both games. I was looking at experience. That's why I took McCaffrey and his yards. I was like, if anybody's going to get it, pretty much the book was telling you he was going to score. It was just a matter of, you wanted to take it or not. It was like minus 350, so there wasn't a lot of value there. But Goff put on a great performance. He threw for 273 yards, one touchdown, no INTs. Gibbs had an amazing game, 15 carries, 93 yards. Laporta did what he could with 9 catches for 97 yards. St. Brown did his thing with 7 catches, 87 yards. So he was throwing the ball out there. He was moving it around. Williams had a monster game. He had 2 TDs, one in the air, one on the ground. Uh, you know, Gibbs scored one. Montgomery scored one. There was a lot of scoring in this game, but sadly for the Lions, it wasn't enough with Purdy coming back, who I'm not still sold on. He threw for 267 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and McCaffrey ran it 20 times for 90 yards. The man's an animal. IQ and Mitchell both scored for the Niners. There's a lot of touchdowns in that game. If you had any of those any times, it's probably a good night if you just took them all by themselves. But the second half was completely different. Shanahan made adjustments to what the Lions were doing offensively. It was a game changer. You want to see the Lions go to the big dance. I'm sorry, but Purdy and the Niners are going to be on their way there. They took over 34-31 in the game, and they're going to face the Chiefs at the Super Bowl. Uh, if Purdy wins the Super Bowl, it's going to have to shut me. But I think, what is this, Travis's Kansas, Andy Reid, this would be their third, wouldn't it? This would be their third, because I know one of the times they went Brady won. I know they won last year, so this would be back to back if they could do that. I can't wait to find out. I can't wait. It's it's gonna be something. I'm gonna look at the lines real quick. I know they're already out. It's just something I haven't done yet, but take a look at it. Oh, we got plays over on the Discord, over on the Twitter, Instagram, all the regular places. If you're new to the podcast, thanks for following. Thanks for checking it out. Actually, thanks for checking it out. Hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Uh, Links down below in the description. Yeah, there it is. It's a 1.5 point spread. Kansas City is looking like they are favored. Oh no, they're not favored. I'm sorry. San Francisco is favored minus 1.5. But on the money line, it's minus 104 Kansas City, minus 112 San Francisco. The total set at 47.5. So yeah, this is I'd probably take the +1.5 just because it's -115, but I damn near just throw all my money on the 104 right there, and maybe just wait even closer till um, the Super Bowl. Maybe Kansas will, get a little bit more value there, get it the plus money because they're pretty close. But the total of 47.5, I don't know nothing about that. But I can go ahead and tell you right here, right now, my pick for the damn Super Bowl is Kansas City Chiefs. I'd take them on the fucking money line. I'd lock that shit, take it to the house. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl, and I could have this completely wrong. CMC could go out there and dominate. They could win, and he could be the MVP. But I'm calling it. I think Patrick is going to do his damn thing. I think he is the next in line for greatness. Every sport has one. And if like him or not, like him or not, I was a fan of Brady. I was a fan of the Patriots. So I really don't want to hate on a team that's on a dynastic run because to me, honestly, I think it's cool to see a team just dominate everybody. Like just got everything figured out. Everybody's like, oh, Tyreek Hill, and they're terrible, and now they're in the damn Super Bowl. He's still being talked about as one of the greatest of all time. So yeah, I'm gonna throw him in there for the MVP, but I got Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna take them on the money line, in the Super Bowl. Probably wait a little closer, like I said, see if those odds get better. But that's my Super Bowl pick. You can go ahead and lock it in right now. I know it's way early. There's more to talk about though. Throughout the week, we've got all kinds of NBA games on, and there's NCAA going on, men's basketball. I believe we got one NHL game tonight. But if you want to check those out, the link down below for the Discord. You go there, get all those picks. Got pick videos over on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're checking everything out daily as daily stuff is uploaded. And go listen to us over on Spotify or Apple if you're into listening to the podcast. But you've already listened to this one. So go listen to another one or the next one. Either way, go get those bets in and let's have a good night. Okay?